Sure am. We'll see if we can make that. Don't know what happened there, guys, but our camera's blurry for some reason. All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us. Bob, your host here for the Tuesday Night Live show. We want to thank you all for coming back and joining us this Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. Our featured guest will be coming up shortly and is no stranger to the show. He started out from episode one as our producer before leaving to pursue a dream of TV and screen acting. Tonight's show, we'll find out the different roles he has been blessed in landing and the process into getting yourself involved in that industry. Stay with us because the opening of tonight's show is brought to you by SatBob's Professional Technical Training School for Christmas entertainers. The legend lives on. This is Tuesday Night Live. That's better. Thank you all for returning for yet another episode. We love and appreciate your support. Each one of you hold a very special place in the hearts of our TNL family and crew. We couldn't do this without your support, nor could we do this without our bud and contributor, proprietor of schoolofsantas.com and stuffforsanta.com. That's right, Spango the Clown.
Daniel's in the house! Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Wow. Bobby,
Yeah,
I was cleaning my glasses a moment ago.
I couldn't figure out what happened. You know, we were fine back in the green room, but for some reason, when she pulled me in for the start of the show, it was bad. I couldn't believe it. Sometimes I can take my hand and let it refocus, but who knows? We're good now, so let's move along. If you will, please give it up for the lady behind the curtain over here. That's right, our producer, the one and only, our world famous Angela Mack.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mrs. Oz from The Wizard of Oz behind the curtain.
Hey, yeah, exactly. All right, so this is episode 28, and we have merch. That's right. Visit fancylees.com, our exclusive supplier for all our swag. Oh, hey, enjoy us live on your big screen on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, the Tuesday Night Live Show 1225. If you're still with us at this point and have not yet hit that subscribe button, please do so at this time. We need your subscriptions. Also, like, share, and comment. Feel free to do that. You can also find us on Facebook at the Tuesday Night Live. The first half of the Tuesday Night Live Show trivia is brought to you by School of Santas 2024, hosted by Spangle in picturesque Branson, Missouri, where education and fun meet. All right, Spangle, let's see how many we can stump tonight with this one.
All right, before we even go to this trivia thing, can I give out a challenge here?
Yeah.
I want to challenge all of our YouTube subscribers to get one friend to subscribe to the channel. And every time you get one friend to subscribe to the channel during this next week, we're going to put your name in a hat. And whoever name we pull out is going to get a special prize. So
cool.
Let's get those numbers up. Every single one of you, get a friend to join, and we'll put your name in the hat. Get two friends to join, we'll put two names in the hat. Now, they can't already be subscribers. They have to be new subscribers. So let's see what we can do here.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway, let's get on with this thing here. Okay, according to the clinic, I don't know how you say that, Clinic Automatic Weather Station, AWS in Greenland, what is the coldest it's ever been at the North Pole, and what was the date? Could it have been a Christmas Eve?
Or no, but yeah, that's another one of those tough words. Kalank, I guess is how you would pronounce it.
Clinic. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I felt
Just
like
say,
I felt like I'm going to the clink.
hey, that was like yesterday. We had a German
Clink.
phrase for Silent Night, and we couldn't figure out how to pronounce it. So our guest tonight lived in Germany at one time, so we were going to get him to pronounce it for us when he comes into the show.
What was that colonel's name? Was it Colonel Clink or something on there?
Clank, yeah. There you go. There you go. Maybe it's his automatic weather station.
Maybe. Is it from Germany?
Yeah, who knows? All right, guys. Now, sorry we didn't get the 2024 School of Santa's promo that we normally play at this point. Finished today, had some technical difficulties. So we're just going to skip past that, have it ready for next week. So right before we bring our guest in, let's get one of our other members of the crew in here. Say hello to Scott Seriton, who, along with tonight's guest, was part of TNL Season 1.
Hello, everyone. Oh, it's great to Spangle. You're back. Well, anyhow, it's great to be here. And yeah, hey, guys, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Just get your friends to put it on there. It's no cost. Subscribe's a overused word because usually when you subscribe to something, you're having to pay. Well, it's the F word in this show. Free. Just subscribe.
It's Randall's favorite word.
I know, and I'm scared to put this up. I'm scared it'll make my camera go out of focus, but here you go.
Free. Yeah, subscribe, like, and share, please, everybody on Facebook and if how you can on YouTube.
I was just up there at Maps at the Red Suit Conclave, and they said that Randall actually has two free words, or two words that start with F that are his favorite words: free and food. Free food.
Free food. Hey, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that for sure.
Well, you come to School of Santa's, you'll have plenty of free food there at the school. Comes in with your tuition.
And it's true.
Not bad. Pretty good barbecue, if I must say.
All right. Our featured guest tonight lives in the epicenter of the movie and TV industry that has become a hotbed of opportunities in central New Mexico. He has stayed very busy with auditions and even landing roles for the last couple of years. He is here to share how he has been able to take advantage of those opportunities and how you can use this information to pursue. Please give us a warm welcome to Santa the Rio Rancho, Ron McLamb.
Oh. Hello there. Howdy, Bob, Spangle, Scott, and all the Christmas performers out there in TV land.
Good to see you, Ron. Now, I don't know if you caught yesterday's show, but we had a German word for Silent Night that we could not seem to figure out how to pronounce it. We thought maybe you could. Did you happen to see that episode yesterday?
I was started to watch it, but then I got busy. But you're talking about Ruhige Nacht?
It's Silent Night, and it was let me look at my scripture real quick. Stille.
How do you say silent night in German?
NACHT.
Stille Nacht.
Stille Nacht.
Stille
And
Nacht.
then HEILIGENACHT. Okay, so that stands for what? Spangle got it on his phone.
Silent Night
and
Holy
stands
Night.
for Silent Night. And Randall and I both tried to pronounce it, and hey, we murdered it.
Stille Nacht.
You hear it?
Stille Nacht.
Stille Nacht.
Yes.
Stille Nacht. Now you're going to make some guy in the Navy mad if you steal a knot.
Yeah. I still keep in touch with my children over there in Germany. So whenever I contact them through WhatsApp, I have to speak German with them because they didn't keep up the English.
Ah.
So they keep me up on my German.
Modern technology, I tell you.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about tonight, Ron. So let's go ahead and share with everyone about your career. But first, let's get to know a little bit about your young years. What was your favorite one or two toys as a youngster?
Have you ever heard of Hands Up Harry?
Hands up, Harry. I don't think I have.
I have a photo if I can show you guys.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Yep.
Ron, I think that's out of my wheelhouse. I think I'm too young to know what Hands Up Harry is.
Let's see here.
When you get it pulled up, let me know. Angela will click it in.
Darn it. Let's see here.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that one. That's a new one on me. I thought I'd heard of everything. Look at Spangle, grab the phone. He's going to go find it real quick.
Hands up, Harry.
He is the research king.
He is, isn't he? Him and AJ, two peas in a pod.
It gave me hairy hands that are up.
Too funny.
Let's see here. If I can share screen.
Okay, Angela, did you see it?
All right. That looks like Ron McLamb. It's a cowboy.
Hands Up Harry.
There
It's
you go.
A shooting dart game that you shoot this hat and then his hands go up. And then you can shoot his guns out of his hands, or if you shoot the belt buckle, his pants falls down.
That's cool.
I got that like in 1965.
Wow. I don't remember that one. That's one I would have been interested in though as a child, but
yeah,
nope.
It was fun.
Maybe
and then of course I also got I wanted a drum set. My parents said, well, that's pretty expensive. But then my oldest sister, she jumped in and surprised me, and I received a drum set. I woke up Christmas morning and there was a drum set sitting there.
And now as an adult, you know why your parents didn't want you to have it.
Some truth in that.
Makes all the difference. Age makes a difference.
Right.
All right, Spangle, over to you.
Anyways, you lived in Germany years ago. Did you ever get the chance to visit a Santa in Germany? And if so, tell us about that. We know you speak some German and still have some family there. Is that correct?
Yeah, I speak fluent German because I lived over there for 13 years after I got out of the military. And my first wife was German, and we did come back to the States, but she was homesick, wanted to go back, so we went back there. Santa Claus, they didn't have Santa Claus like at a mall or anything like that. You have to have, the church would offer St. Nicholas to come to your home on December 6th, and that's St. Nicholas Day. And we would contact them, have them come, and you leave out little fruit and goodies and stuff outside the door. And St. Nicholas would knock on your door, you open it up, and all of a sudden you see also Knecht Ruprecht, which is his partner. And he was the guy in burlap sack and chains and has a stock of branches for the naughty children. So when they came in, St. Nicholas would open up his golden book and he'd start to look to see where you're at. And of course, the children always ratted on the parents, So I even got whooped by Knecht Ruprecht with the branches one Christmas. But I do have another photo of that if you don't mind.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Of you getting whooped?
Well, I wish I had that one.
Hey, you know how years later folks take photos and recreate them after they, from their childhood, and they try to recreate those photos later on in life? That would be a good one.
maybe
Yeah.
not.
So, let's see here. Share screen.
Like getting on, he wants to know if it says the name of the song.
Yes. Yes. Our guest from yesterday, we had a guest on yesterday's show, by the way, Ernie Rizzo. He come on and showed his prop that he had developed for the Randall Challenge prop and backstory. And he just asked if he just got on. He asked if we was able to pronounce the Silent Night portion.
Still
So
not.
there you go, Ernie.
Still a knot.
Still a
Steal
knot.
a knot. And I'm thinking of it like you're stealing a knot. Steal a knot.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it
Good.
sounded.
Word association works great, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't use that with the Scouts. Wouldn't be trustworthy.
So can you see that photo?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you make it bigger?
Uh,
Right up there to the left. Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
little Ron.
yeah, that's my son Nick. He's the one that passed away.
Okay.
But this is St. Nicholas. Of course, you know, they don't have the real bearded St. Nicholas.
But they wear a hood and a cape, basically.
Yeah, and they have their staff and everything, and
huh.
his golden book. But
That's
yeah, it's different. It's totally different. You know, I mean, it's kind of the old, you know, old world visit.
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
But you know, in Germany, they even today they still use those scare tactics on the children. It's
I
just,
guess it works.
you know,
Well,
I
Ron,
mean, we use the magic coins and tell the children that, well, if you're not good, all of a sudden the magic coins disappears, and then once you do something nice, it reappears, right? And so we use a little bit of that tactics, but it's a lot less physical.
okay, Ron, how did you start your acting and background journey?
Well, you know, I've always been in high school. I was leading role in Oklahoma. I was a Curly in the musical, so I sang like 4 different songs in that musical. And of course, then I joined the Army after I got out of the Army, and then, you know, we moved down to New Mexico, and it was really the right time to move down here because all the studios starting to move into Albuquerque and Santa Fe. So I just decided to, you know, apply for like background.
Right.
You know,
So, as an extra, I assume. Right?
yeah, it's extra background. So I, you know, like my first year, I got in quite a few different films, and Meow Wolf was really my very first one. Meow Wolf, the art exhibit place that they have opened also in Las Vegas. We filmed a sci-fi clip out in the desert by the Angora Mountain, these cliffs and everything. And they use that footage, which is actually in the display in Las Vegas currently at the Mega Mart.
Cool.
So
What was the film that you were in the Western that you were on the shoots, on the bulls riding shoots or at the fence? Was it
that was
in your career?
yeah, I was
If you
in,
can mention it. I don't know if you can mention it or not. I think it's out now, isn't it?
well, it's Outer Range with James Brolin, and they're on their second season. I was on there for my first season, and there's kind of like a 3 seconds you can see me on the catwalk over the bull riding pen, and I'm standing up there with my cowboy hat and my nice long white beard, you know. So it was pretty cool. It's like 2 seconds of fame.
But
Keep
that's where
adding
it all
them up.
starts.
Keep adding them up, and you'll have your 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
And we do have some pictures of all that later on in the show. So
Mhm.
did you actually get to meet or speak with any of the movie stars while you're on the set?
Yeah, actually, what's his name? I'm terrible with names anyway. But the what's his name? Cena from the Wrestler.
Yeah.
He was in a Coyote versus Acme. We filmed that last year, and it's kind of like a mix between animation and real life film. And he was like we were doing the court scene, and he was running around and yelling, and we were all laughing at him because we had imagined that cage came down over him, and he looked over and he said, "And Santa, you stop laughing at me."
John
I don't know.
Cena.
I don't think that's going to make it in the film, but it was pretty funny at the time.
Part ended up on the floor in the
Yeah.
John Cena you're talking about?
John Cena, yeah. And also, man, I tell you, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. I should have wrote these names down. But anybody remember Saturday Night Live, the Falconeer? Or the guy who plays MacGruber?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah. I was going into the restroom, and all of a sudden he was finishing up and was heading for the wash basin to wash his hands. And I walked in. I said, "Hey, how's it going, Will Forte? How you doing, Will?" And he said, "Yeah, how you doing?" He looked at me, he says, "Have you ever been in a movie yet as Santa?" And I said, "No, not yet, but that's on my bucket list."
Hey, I got a question for you. Did you offer to shake his hand?
No. But I gave him a business card, and he was a really cool guy. Some of them, you can approach. I mean, a lot of times you can't really force approach. You want to keep back, and because the casting agents don't really want you to go up there because they're in a different frame of mind. Their lines are running through their head as they're going to set, and you don't want to break their train of thought.
Good point.
Yeah. Liz says Will Forte.
Yeah, Will Forte.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. Well, you know what I want to know about Ron is about wardrobe. Did you have to supply your own as a background actor, or do they supply any of that stuff for you?
Well, a lot of the independent films that I've been in, you would have to have your, 1800 wear, your own pants. I mean, a big guy like me, they're not going to have, that much wardrobe, so they're going to not have their sizes, especially for a big guy like me. So, of course, I invested in my 1800 Western look. I have my duster, my hat, and vest and everything. And I even got a $25 bump because I had my own wardrobe. So they pay extra. Now, like on the Netflix 6-part Western that we just did this year, they had all the wardrobe that anybody needed. I mean, that was a big budget.
Big or small sizes.
Yeah, they had everything.
So, Ron, what does it pay as a background actor? And do you have to be part of an actors guild or anything like that? Or does that give you more pay if you are?
Background, it can range anywhere from $108 to $120 for 8 hours. Now, they do feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you're there all day into the night. And if you go over 8 hours, they do pay you time and a half. So, but you know what? A lot of times I was there, I was like, I'm not there for the money. I'm there for the experience, and for the ambiance and the experience, and see how it's all
Camaraderie.
done. I mean, that's how I was at the beginning.
So if they're paying you time and a half after 8 hours, are they giving you like time and a half on $11 or something?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now, in some places, they'll even give you a $25 gas bump if you're driving like 2 hours somewhere out in the middle of the desert.
Okay.
Well, with that being said, do you negotiate all that yourself? Or, by the way, I just wanted to tell you I was available. I'm out of work right now. And I want to know if you had an agent or if you were looking for one.
Yeah. Well, I got 2 appointments this week. Tomorrow, I have an appointment with one actor agent, and we're going to have coffee at the Starbucks. And then I have an agent audition on Thursday morning. So I already got the script. I've been learning it. I got to learn both parts. And it's kind of like a detective script, bantering back and forth. So he'll read off one side, and I'll be the deputy, and then we'll switch roles, and I have to know, and it's got to be totally off book. Off book means no script in your hand.
Memorized.
Yeah, totally memorized.
So,
and
I don't have a chance of going to work for you then.
When they do a script, do you have to know it word for word, or do they just want it? I mean, is that a real close outline? And if you put a different word in there now and then, does it matter?
Well, for your auditions, you want to be really as close as you can be on script, because, it is a writer who wrote that, and you could be losing a word that could really mean something to that scene. Okay. I have seen where an actor has gone a little bit off script, but he was improvising a little bit, and it wasn't a big deal for the director, but you really want to stay kind of like on script, because like I said, one word can mean, make a totally difference,
If you're a star in a show, I don't know how you memorize 2 hours worth of stuff.
Well, you got to think about it this way. They film one scene at a time. Okay. There might be maybe a total of 10 minutes of talking back and forth, but it's so broke up, and they'll film from one side, and then they'll film from this side. And you keep saying the same lines over and over at all these different angles, but you're really only saying maybe 2 lines the whole time. And then they go to the next scene, and they'll splice that all together. So it's not like you have to, you have to be familiar, of course, but you got to really have it when you come to, like I said, you don't want to walk up to an actor and say, bother him, because it's in his head. He's waiting to film that,
I got a couple of comments here that I want to catch real quick, Ron, before we
Sure.
move on. The other Santa Bob here in North Texas, my brother Bob Engel, says it's just like being a Santa. I don't do it for the money. That was in reference to the pay. And then Ernie says, I've had the opportunity to be on set for Adam Sandler's Hubie Halloween and other Netflix movies, as well as HBO Max, Santa Count, lots of fun. And like Ron says, the experience.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the guy that keeps me in stitches most of the time, Scott Parker. Parker says, Luke, I am your mother. Just won't work in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And they pay those script writers a lot of money to write those scripts, so I can understand why they want to stay on script.
Right. Yeah. And get back to your question, Spangle, was also, you don't need to be, you don't need an agent for background. Okay. Background, you can go to Facebook. Anybody that, just type in local background casting. Okay. And results are going to pop up if there's a local casting company in your area, because, Facebook, you've already signed into Facebook, so it already knows the parameters that you're where you're at. Okay. And if there's anything close by, or maybe even next state or whatever, it's going to show you, and then you kind of join those groups, watch out for casting calls. and then you have to submit, and you'll take a picture of your, like a picture from the side, and a picture from the front, and it has to be a light background, in the back of you, and like
Can
just
I
a
use
plain
the
wall.
ones that I have that have numbers underneath it?
Yeah.
It's got like a measurement sign behind me.
Yeah. And
5
then,
feet, 5.5 feet, 6 feet.
right. And they'll want also your wardrobe card, your sizes and measurements, because they'll want to know how tall you are, how much you weigh, what size shirt you wear, what size pants, what size shoes, what size hat, that kind of stuff. And you'll submit that to these background casting companies, and then they'll contact you if they can use you. And a lot of times you might not hear nothing back. And that's the whole thing of the business. If you hear back, okay, you're hired, so you just keep submitting.
Yeah, Ron mentioned to me last night about doing a search. I went over to Google actually instead of Facebook and did a search, and I was surprised that there's dozens just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So that was kind of a shocker. I knew there was a few, but I didn't realize there were that many casting companies.
With the migration of all these stars moving to Texas, they're sick and tired of all the taxes in California.
Yeah, I can understand that. So let me ask you this: how do you go about getting an acting agent? How do you search and find one?
Okay,
If you're looking for an actual agent, not a casting call.
Right. Well, an acting agent. Okay, it took a while for me to get enough on my resume, okay, of all my history of what I've been doing and everything. I've been around. I know how to act on a set, So you got all that information on your resume and what kind of schooling you went, take some acting lessons, take some improv, which also is great for Santa, right? Improv lessons, you can put that on your acting resume. And then you start looking around, and of course, if you're on set with a lot of people, you'll network with people, okay, and you'll hear, oh, DME agency is really great, or this other company is really good. And it took me 4 years finally to start looking for an agent, because I don't need an agent for Santa. I only need it for the acting side, for the side gigs after my Christmas season is over, and that's definitely something that I'm going to be talking with the agents about. And like, hey, I'm not willing to give up my Santa business for you to get 10% out of my Santa business. Now, if you want to hire me as a Santa actor in a film, that's totally a different thing. So,
but what if they got you a Santa job that paid more than your normal rate? I mean,
well, yeah, I mean, if you can, if they're going to hire me as in a movie as Santa, of course I'm going to take it, right? And they can get their 10%. But most of the time, if I'm going to make an agreement with Netflix to do their Christmas party, I'm going to price it right, because also you might get your foot in the door somewhere there.
Right. Well, Ron, you've already answered these questions pretty much. Do you need one to do background work, or do you acquire the gigs by yourself on your own? And you pretty much already answered that, but you can reiterate that if you would like.
Yeah. Okay. For background, you really don't need an agent. You don't need to be a part of SAG. Okay. New Mexico right now is non-union for background. Okay. California, they have a union for background, especially if you have worked on a SAG film. Okay. Union film. If you've worked on a union film, like 2 out of 3 films, you already start getting eligible to be on a union. Okay. But like in New Mexico, we don't have a union as background actors. Now, as a full-fledged actor that you're getting talking roles, you might have to go ahead and pay your dues and get into SAG, into the union. And currently
SAG is what?
is the Screen Actors Guild.
Screen Actors Guild. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you for clarifying that.
And currently, while the writers are striking and the actors are striking, a lot of the people are not taking any work at all because we're behind them. There's a lot of stuff that's going on about background being scanned, and we are being created digitally and put into scenes, and we only get paid that one day. So that's a big issue with the background that we don't want to happen either. I mean, if they're going to keep using our image in scenes, then they need to up the price on using our image.
Well, do you have to sign a waiver about your intellectual property?
Yeah. See, currently, it was a year ago. I knew some background actors. They said, "Oh, I had to go in this van and get scanned so they can use me in the bleachers." And I said, "Well, you signed something, right?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Did you read it?" And they said, "Yeah." And it said just that we give them permission to use our likeness, but not anything in there saying
how many times and how often.
How often and how long, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I would never have signed it.
Yeah.
I mean, we always know as a Santa Claus, in our contracts, you might let a company use your likeness for a year, right? And then you're going to renegotiate.
Absolutely. It's in my contract.
Right.
Yeah, I was just speaking with another Santa a week before last about this same topic, and that was my advice to him: is put a time limit and when and how to use your likeness afterwards. And if they do, there should be some type of compensation for it. So those are things that a lot of Santas don't think about in the Santa world when it comes to photos and things. Well, Ron, let me ask you this. I know that the writer strike and actors, just went on strike. How's that kind of affected the non-union actors? Has it made a big difference? And I think you said you guys aren't working because y'all are backing them up, right?
Right. I mean, there are some independent stuff that the union has allowed some independent films to continue to film. But there are a lot of people that are staying solidary, with the union and not working. I mean, I don't rely on the money doing my side stuff with. I can get by without that, but there are people out there that's really hurting, that they're missing that work, especially the workers that, behind the cameras and stuff,
Yeah, all the support crew. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a short breather right here, Ron. And it's that time in the Tuesday Night Live show when we do our product announcement. So we'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Hello. Hello.
Hey! Will somebody get you to Happy Meal?
No, don't do that.
That's right. Stop the show. It's time for the Tuesday Night Live Showstopper special. And for tonight's special, we'll go over here to Spangle and see what he's cooking.
Oh my gosh, we got the ring. A lot of people like this ring. $75 on the website. We're going to get it to you for $40 and we're going to ship it free. 1 week only.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. Next Monday, August 14th.
Yes, we have it in gold. We have it in silver.
Spangle.
Yes.
You need to rethink that. That's cutting into my profit.
That's your profit. Look at that. We got some knuckles going on here.
That's a bargain, folks. You don't want to miss
Yes, it
out.
is. Does that mean I get a discount on mine? Do I get a refund?
I just gave you a new one.
You did. Thank you.
It's got reindeer on one side. It's got a sleigh on one side. It's got Santa across there.
They're beautiful.
When you hit them, they know who hit them.
Well, I'll add this to that, Spangle. Let me tell you something. When you've got one of those on and sitting on one of your sets or on one of your visits, the kids' eyes go straight to it. And they're like, wow, look at Santa's ring. Or mom and dad, wow, look at Santa's ring. I'm telling you, it's an easy way to get the boys and girls to come to your chair or come to you sometimes. And
I like using the lights with it. I'll bring the light down, turn the red light red, say, let Santa give you a little bit of his Christmas magic. I get so many of the adults ask me if I've been in a Super Bowl.
Did you come to Santa Super Bowl?
We was a blitzing, man. That was a heck of a game. We were blitzing.
Yeah, and you know what? You don't have to be on the set for people to notice it. People in public notice that ring. They will actually, walk up to you and ask you about it. Or if you're sitting at a restaurant and your waiter or waitress notices it, they'll say, let me see that, and kind of hold your hand out. And it's definitely a conversation starter and eye getter for sure.
We have whole sizes 10 through 18, gold and silver color, whole sizes only.
So I think all of us here have one, don't you? You have one, Ron?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, all you viewers, if you ain't got one, now's the chance to get one for a very, very, very discounted price. So jump on.
And there's two questions over here. Spangle, Diane Van wants to know, is there a Mrs. Claus ring? And have you got one of those available there?
There is a Mrs. Claus ring. I don't think I have it. Hang on. Hang on.
Yeah, you definitely want one of those rings.
And
they are beautiful.
The other Facebook user, if I'm not mistaken, I think he may have some
replacement. All right. There is a Mrs. Claus ring. And you know what? We'll do the same offer for the Mrs. Claus. 6 through 9 are the sizes on that one. If I get this package open. And we do have gold and silver color there also. Let me see which way is the top. I can get this in bogus.
And we had a question. Do you have any red stones?
Yeah, we do.
You have replacement stones, am I correct?
Yeah. It says Claus and believe. It's kind of hard to tell.
But that's a nice looking ring.
It's got little diamond-like things on the sides.
That was Bob Engel here in North Texas with me, Spangle, that wanted to know if you had any red stones. So, Bob, reach out to Spangle and get him to send you one.
We'll take care of it.
Okay, I think that covers all that. So, let's go do this commercial, and we'll be back again in just a few moments.
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things. Yes, all the giveaways. Yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, StuffForSanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on, I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. StuffForSanta.com. Merry Christmas.
Okay, Spangle.
All right.
Diane Van, before you go on, Diane Van asked, remind her the original and the sales price, please.
Okay, the original price is $75, on sale for $40, and we'll ship it free.
That's
the
till
lady
next Monday. So if you want one, get it in before next Monday. You got to contact Spangle for this deal. You can't
You
get
might
it through
want
the
to get it
website.
in sooner because on Friday I'm leaving to go pick up another trailer, guys.
That's right,
Hang
you
on.
are. So
Is the ladies and the men's ring both the same price?
Correct.
yes,
Okay. I think that's what she was asking.
yes, it is. And I got to say here, this is another reason why I love these shows so much. Charlie Johnson says, and this is a little way that he uses your ring, Spangle. He tells the kids that it's his sleep detector. The stone turns green if everyone in the house is asleep. Thus, no one who is awake ever sees it turn green. Pretty cool way to use it.
Yeah.
Is he from the Indianapolis or Kentucky area?
Charlie, no, Charlie's up in Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Okay, it was in Michigan. It was up in Mapson. Because somebody had just told me that while I was on my last trip.
Yeah, probably was Charlie.
Yeah, I bet it was. I thought it was pretty
Okay.
cool. Anyway,
All right.
what year was the publication that first mentioned the mention of Mrs. Claus? The name of said publication and the name of the author. Now, here's a hint. A couple disguised themselves angel-like as travelers and seek shelter with a family. As it turns out, the two strangers are not the Clauses at all, but long-lost family members in double disguise.
But that was the first mention.
Blah, blah, blah.
The first mention of Mrs. Claus.
That was a mouthful.
What
Frank.
year was the first publication that was the first mention of Mrs. Claus, the name of said publication, and the name of the author?
That's right, guys. Work on that. That one's not too hard either. You know, you Google it, it comes right up. So looks like we've already got some answers coming in there. So that's great. Someone's quick on the trying to see who that is. Very good. All right. So moving on to the second half of tonight's program, let's continue our conversation with our guest, Senator Ron McLamb. And Ron, you know, the second half of the show, we're kind of going to have some videos and things to play as we get a little bit further in. So over to you, Scott.
Sorry, Bob, I'm unprepared. Did I miss something?
No.
How important?
How important has social media platform like TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, etc., become?
Very important, because you know there are agents, acting agents, entertainment agents out there looking at everybody's Instagram and TikToks and stuff like that. So you know, you want to keep it nice. You want to keep it, you know, some great photos and some great videos, and you never know where it's going to land you.
You're definitely a dancing Santa on TikTok. I know that for a fact.
I try my best.
I follow you or something on TikTok, and every time I turn around, it says, "Oh, Ron McLamb, Santa Ron, Santa Rio Rancho," and you're either dancing or cooking cookies or doing something. But you definitely are getting everybody's attention. So my hat's off to you. You're braver than I am.
Well, Ron, Angela's going to run a video and a few headshots as examples of what you use for film and TV. After the video runs, can you tell us a little bit about each of these things?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I had to find me a professional photographer to do my headshots for, you know, applying for an agency, you know, And since I landed a role in a horror film, which we haven't filmed yet, and it's probably going to film if the strike ends, we'll be filming on the end of September. So I needed to get some professional done headshots. And he normally charges $500 for his headshots, but I got friends and family price, which was really nice. So it cost me $250. I got lucky because the producer of Creative Kill Productions knows this photographer, and he had his headshots done there, and he referred me over there. So I got lucky there.
Kind of like the one that you're wearing the leather jacket.
Yeah, because people say, well, you make a good biker look. You got a good biker look. You got Western look. You can play quite a few different roles, And
you want to give credit to the photographer, Ron? You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't write it down.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, man, I need to write that down. But yeah, I'll put that in the comments later.
There you go.
Let you know if anybody's looking for.
Add that they said you were saying you had a good biker look and a good Western look and a good look for a prisoner or whatever. You've got just all the looks, but I didn't hear you mention the most important one, and I'll mention it for you. You have a really, really good Santa look.
No, thank you. I was on set one time, and this assistant, a PA came up to me. He says, you would make a great looking, you'd make a great Santa. And I said, oh, here's my business card. Because
surprise!
This is the first year I've let my hair grow out, so it's my original color. I still got some of the bleaching still at the ends of the long hair, but last time I bleached was 3 weeks before Christmas, and because I was told by the casting director, you need to tone that Santa down, Ron, because all that white is distracting. Because you walk across the scene and the scene's with the actor, and all of a sudden everybody's looking over at Santa is walking across the back. You know what I mean? So it's kind of distracting. So
that's pretty cool. So next, Ron, Angela's going to put up a copy of your resume. So afterwards, can you briefly tell us about what's on this sheet that she's going to put up for you?
Sure.
So you can go ahead and speak after the resume comes up there if you'd like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the first part of it is my film history of what I've been doing. Of course, American Primeval is still in post-production right now. Coyote versus Acme is in post-production still. Dead Man's Hand is out and is on Prime Video. Butch versus Sundance is on what is it called? Yumi or something like that. Two Sinners and a Mule is on Prime. Butch Cassidy. Vengeance was in theaters and also on Prime right now. Cowboy Currency was a short film, which really was just a director's debut. And Flames was a short film that never got released. So I do got 2 credits. One was for playing the character of DeJozier, and then the television was Outer Range season 2, which I filmed this year, is to be coming out soon. The mini pilot for a veterans short to get interest on a TV pilot. Echo 3 is out. Walker Independence, the Western that did not get wasn't taken over, so it was only 1 season. They got cut. Big Sky They had quite a few seasons. And then Roswell, New Mexico, Outer Range. Then, of course, my acting education. I added my Santa schools because it's also a part of acting as well, you know, because you're portraying this magical being. Okay, so I consider that's acting training as well. And then, of course, I think under the acting education is some of my special skills, which you want to put down. Like if can you bowl? Can you fish? Can you do you have weapons knowledge or handling a weapon? Are you a veteran? You know, all these special skills all come in play for certain roles that they might want you for. And then at the very bottom of the resume is my personal attributes, your height, your weight, you know, and anything special about you. Like I have a tattoo on my right inner forearm that they need to know about.
Now, you had mentioned about your size earlier in the beginning of the show. You know, me and Spangle look like munchkins up beside you, and Scott, you guys are on the larger size, tall, and tell everyone what your size is, Ron.
Easy.
Yeah, I'm 6 foot, and I hate to say it, but at my doctor's appointment last Friday, I stepped on the scale and I was 310. I'd like to keep it at like 270. But sitting around not doing a whole lot, eating too many cookies.
But because of your height, you really carry that weight well. I mean, when you look at you, you do not look 300 pounds. I mean, that was one of the things I think me and Scott had talked about when we, first started hanging out with you was you don't look that big. I mean, you look tall, but you don't look, 300 pounds. So
yeah, heavy bones.
You're just a big man overall, and Jeannie's lucky to have you. I'll tell you that. I mean, she doesn't need a protector or a bodyguard. She's got you. That's for sure. I'm scared.
I'm lucky to have.
I bet she's scared when she rides in the truck with him.
No, she feels very secure. I used to be a chauffeur.
I remember when we were somewhere and I was riding with you, and it was like we were going to go curving and everything. Is that in Oklahoma or no? It wasn't in Oklahoma. Where were we?
It was Oklahoma.
Was it?
Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that for the Edmund Setlodge class?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I drove limousines, and I drove Charlton Heston, picked him up from the tarmac. I drove James Doohan. I've driven Julian Lennon and Wyclef Jean. So I got to rub shoulders with quite a few stars in my limousine career.
And you and I were talking about this the other night, Ron, is how some folks get starstruck when they see someone that they've seen in film or TV or that has a tag to them that they're kind of famous in one way or another. I love the story that you told me about Charlton Heston. Can you share that with the audience?
Yeah, sure. I was picking up Charlton Heston from the Centennial tarmac. So I drove up right next to the private jet, and Charlton Heston came down the steps, and he came right up to me, said, so you're my driver? I said, yes. I said, Ron, my name's Ron, and he said, well, is it okay if I sit in the front seat with you? Because there's more room up in the front of the sedan than there is in the back. And I said, you can sit wherever you like, Mr. Heston, So he sat up front seat with me, and we kind of like had a little talk back and forth as I was driving him to Colorado Springs, and he even made a little, which I'm like, he said, wow, look at the clouds part. And I'm like, did Moses just say, look at the clouds part?
Too good.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
How long was the ride?
Huh?
How long was that ride?
That was about 45-minute ride.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ron, you I guess you learned by being around them that a lot of those folks put their pants on just like we do.
That's correct.
And,
I mean,
that's
when I walked into the restroom and met Will Forte, I was like, hey, Will, what's up, buddy? You know, and,
Well-
and he was cool.
Well, think about where you met him.
Yeah, you know, he's
That's,
washing his hands. You know,
you know, and you know, as Bob knows, and I'm friends with Neil McCoy in Texas, and my sister's won an Oscar, and I have a photograph of Johnny Unitas and Jim Neighbors in my room. My mother was Jim Neighbors' first manager.
That's
So,
right.
you know, being starstruck, the only person that starstrikes me is Bob and Spangle. And now you, because you're an actor.
We understand, Scott.
So
We try
you know,
to keep it humble though when you're around.
well, I appreciate that.
All right, Scott, you're next.
Am I again?
Again.
Okay. Can't forget to catch the next Monday show.
No.
No. Why not? I'm trying to get out of this. I don't even see it. Oh, Ron, now we're going to get Angela to run the next video of stills of your. Well, that's what it says.
Okay.
Right, it does.
What did I miss?
Nothing. You're doing good. I'm proud of you.
Which one do I need to be on?
All right, Angie's going to run it. Here we go.
Angela, cut.
Those were great, Ron. There's nothing like live TV, is there?
Right.
That's
Well,
why
Elizabeth Ruck says no call back for that audition, Scott.
that's for sure. That's
Well,
for
Ron, that was some pretty cool stuff. Can you give us a rundown on what we just watched?
Well, did anybody recognize Bob Odenkirk? I was
I
on set.
recognize Gunsmoke.
Yeah. You know, Neely, the actor who played Neely, the deputy Neely, he was the older gentleman, Buck Roy. Yeah, he played in the Two Sinners and a Mule. He was the sheriff.
Oh, okay.
And I got a photo with him. So he was 80, he's 82, 83 now. And he was also, I think, last year he was on Yellowstone as well. He died on the cattle drive on the series. So yeah, I got to rub shoulders with some actors, you know, and most of them on the smaller productions, it's really easy to talk with them, you know, and get a photo with them. But you know, casting directors, they always say, oh, you know, don't rush, you know, at these actors, you know, and they really frown on that, you know. So you really got to pick your time, you know. So otherwise,
I'm just going to say Parker says Buck Taylor is his hero.
Buck Taylor. Yeah. I'm sorry. I said it wrong. Tell you, I'm bad with names.
And Ernie says Better Call Saul.
Yeah. I was on that series, the last season. And even though I got a picture with Bob Odenkirk, I never made it on film. 4 times I was on set. And there was 2 times I was on set with my wife's HHR, Chevy HHR. And it had my wife's Chevy HHR had more film time than I got. So, but hey, they paid $125 for my wife's car, plus I got paid as well for being there. So it's always great if they use your vehicle, because you get the vehicle bump and you get paid the hourly for the 8 hours if you're there.
That's cool, Tooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So as far as your Santa season coming up, I know you've got to be pretty full. You've had quite a following, work with different photographers and things. Also, do you have any movie or TV casting calls for 2024 lined up?
Well, like I said, I have that horror film. It's a kind of a cold case movie, and I play a retired sheriff. And hopefully, if there's a sequel, I get to come back because I live to tell the tale.
Cool.
But I can't really say a whole lot more about it.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about being in a lot of these productions is you're really sworn to secrecy until they actually are produced and put out. So,
right, you sign an NDA.
Yeah.
Non-disclosure agreement.
Well, pretty cool. All right, so hey, let's go ahead and reveal tonight's trivia answers at this point. Schoolofsantas.com, according to Clink's Automatic Weather Station, AWS in Greenland, what is the coldest it's ever been at the North Pole, and what was that date? That would be 93.3 degrees Fahrenheit. That's minus 93.3 Fahrenheit, minus 69.6 on the Celsius scale. That was December 22nd, 1991.
Rex.
Spangle's holding his finger in his hands up. I'm trying to see what's going on. Are we praising?
Well, no, I just wanted to let you know when you were giving that trivia, I called my brother Bubba Claus down at the South Pole.
Yeah.
And the coldest it's ever been there is a minus 144 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that was the trivia question I was going to use next week.
Okay.
So that one's gone. All right, but anyway, cool. Yeah, because when I looked that up, it gives North and South Pole. But yeah, fantastic work there, Spangle.
Well, I guess if they watch this week's episode, they got the answer for next week.
That's right. Exactly. Sandy, you
It
said Rex Ray?
pays to watch.
You said Rex Ray, right?
Yes.
But he says give it to the next correct person. So nobody?
Don't.
Oh. Rex, you may be the only winner, buddy.
It's just to have his name in the hat. They don't.
Yeah, it's just to put your name in the hat on that one anyway.
You can put my name in the hat.
There you go. And the cowboy hat?
Hey, only if you list my school as one of your things for learning stuff like you did.
Oh, I'll definitely add it once I go to your school. I'll definitely add it to my resume.
All right.
He's working on a scholarship right now, he said.
Yeah. They might want to do a feature film of the school.
Right.
Hey, there you go. That'd be cool. All right, so StuffForSanta.com. What year was the publication? It was the first mention of Mrs. Claus, the name of said publication, and the name of the author. The first mention of Mrs. Claus appears in the 1849 short story, A Christmas Legend, by missionary James Rees, R-E-E-S. And our winner there?
It was Liz.
Liz, very good, Elizabeth. Fantastic. All right, so I'll get, I don't know if I got your address and stuff. Send me, or Spangle, Spangle's probably got it. Your full mailing address, and he'll get your prize that to you.
Which Elizabeth
Which
was
was
that?
Yes, Elizabeth did. You got her.
Which Elizabeth?
Your Branson Rutch.
Well, they could just
Rut-
come on
Rut-
by.
There you go. So how do you pronounce her last name? I've heard it several ways. I'm terrible with names. R-U-C-H. Would that be Rutch? Rush? Roosh?
Elizabeth
I'm
Roosh.
staying out of it.
Are you
R-O-O-S-H would be the way you pronounce it. She says Roosh. Very good, Elizabeth. Sorry, girl. I'm terrible with names. I know who you are. I know I know how to spell it. I just didn't know how to pronounce it. So fantastic. Thank you. All right. So Spangle says just swing by the shop and he'll take care of you. All right.
I'll actually be in Branson tomorrow, guys.
You will be?
Yes.
Well, just take her a ring then. Isn't that what you were giving away?
That is.
Has she already got a ring?
I don't know.
Liz, have you already got a ring? Yes, no, maybe? Kinda? Sorta?
Doing a photo shoot in Branson tomorrow.
That's right, you are, aren't you?
Butterflies are free?
Not yet. All right, there you go. Fantastic. Get with Spangle and figure out where y'all can go eat lunch or something. All right, over to you, Spangle.
All right. So, anyways, let's go to our viewers and see if they have any questions or comments tonight.
She said she'd meet you at the Butterfly Palace.
You know, I really can't wait to really bleach and get back to my Santa look.
Kind of get used to looking like that, and it's hard to look at yourself in the mirror when you don't look like you
I know.
have been.
Weird.
So
Santa Bruce wants to know how my drive was. It was long. Coming
Ron?
back, I spent 4 hours in park on the interstate.
Yeah. Ron, which look does Jeannie like better?
Well, she said to me both. I mean, she likes this look with my hair in a ponytail, so it's like it's slicked back. She really likes this look.
But does she like the dark or the white?
Well, she keeps me beautiful looking. She works really great with me, and she does all my hair curling, and she does my bleaching, and she does a great job for me. And she, I think she really enjoys seeing me as Ron again, because I've been, since I did the transformation in April of 2018, I've been keeping the white hair and the white beard up.
Right.
So she was kind of happy to see me kind of come back a little bit. There's Ron.
Well, do you do any, Rex Ray wanted to know do you do any voice only work?
Last Saturday I did a voiceover for a Japanese video game, actually, my first one. I was contacted. It paid great for 1 hour's work. It was almost $200.
Wow.
For 1 hour's work. So I think I'm going to look into that.
Santa Jeff says, thanks, Ron, for all your great info. Parker says, great show, Ron. Sean White says, well,
Ron being San Antonio, I might have missed it at the beginning. Well, Ron, we'd love for you to come to San Antonio to North Pole Cornerstones. We look forward to seeing you there. See if you can put that in your busy agenda for February.
Yeah, I'll definitely look and see, for sure.
Ernie says, as always, thanks again to everyone. So much fun and information. These are my deal scrolling so fast I can't keep up. Let's see. AJ says, Ron, I hope I meet you in Branson next year. I already registered for next year already. Ray Bradshaw says, what city was your favorite market in? I believe
Well,
we're probably referring to Germany. Is that
yeah.
right, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, Ray Bradshaw said he lived in Germany from 73 to 78, and he
Yes.
misses the Frankfurt one. And of course, I lived in Ulm/New Ulm right on the Donau. So Ulm had a very nice Christmas market as well, right next to the Ulmer Münster, the world's tallest church
Steeple.
steeple. So it was very beautiful there too. And I miss the smell of the candied almonds and the smell of the Glühwein. It's if you ever get a chance to go to a German market in Germany, man, it's beautiful.
Very cool. Well, anyways, join us next week for our next TNL episode, 7 p.m. Central, where our featured guest will be Matt Spalding, North Pole Radio Podcast, professional, traditional, bearded Santa he is.
And you can't forget the next Tuesday or Monday night, Bob's Randall and Company show at 3 p.m. on Monday Central.
And I want to thank you guys for having me this evening. And I'll keep watching you guys.
I'd like to invite all our viewers to come to San Antonio to North Pole Cornerstones. It's February 2, 3, and 4, and it's going to be a super great experience. I'm so excited about all the plans that are going together for it, and the amazing curriculum that is going to transpire in San Antonio. And we're in a beautiful hotel. It's the Marriott Northwest, San Antonio Marriott Northwest, right there at 410 and Interstate 10. So it's right there at that intersection. It's the one you don't want to miss. So I look forward to seeing everybody there, hopefully. And Spangle, Bob, and hopefully Ron and all our viewers, hope you're in San Antonio.
Yeah, looking forward to that one myself. Randall Santa Checkerly, my co-host on Monday, Ron says, going back to the drum set, did your parents get earplugs for Christmas that year?
I only got to play them when they were shopping.
There you go. Fantastic. All right. So, Spangle, you got any closing thoughts for this week?
Well, I'm just going to have to get Ron to send me a private message of all his Prime videos that are out there right now where he's in them. And I'll go movie binge for a little bit.
Cool.
Good, Scott. How about you? You got anything to
I just want to thank you, Ron. Hey, it's great to see you. Great to be back on the show together again. I mean, and we've both been busy with your acting and me running the roads. So we need to catch up again. We'll do that when we both have a little spare time. But it's good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was going to thank you so much for joining us and being a great guest, great show. Lots of great comments over here spilling in about how much they enjoyed tonight already. So fantastic. Scott, you got anything else to say?
Well, hey, don't forget the TNL Tuesday Night Live merch. It's fancylees.com, and that's FANCYLEES.com. We have all kinds of merch on there. And hey, guys, that's what keeps us going. That's what supports the show. And we look forward to seeing everybody at different schools wearing our merch, and we'd love to see you wear it, when we run into you. So once again, it's fancylees.com, and we've got t-shirts out there, and we're coming up with more merch all the time. So it's a slow process. Bear with us, but grab what we got out there. It's you can order it right there on Fancy Lee's, and she'll ship it direct to you. And
something to say about Bob's mug there. That's 4 mugs in one right there. It's a mug you hold and 3 mugs on the outside.
It's a quad mug.
Quad mug. There you go. All right, so a big thank you to schoolofsantas.com, stuffforsanta.com, holidayphotomagic.com, thermalapparel.com. I want to say thank you to Julia, as always. Don't forget, all our shows are recorded and can be found on our Facebook group, as well as our YouTube channel at the Tuesday Night Live Show. While you're there, be sure and look for, of course, Bob Randall and Company live preview show on Monday. We've got our own YouTube channel. Our subscriptions are way down there. Also, we would love for you to jump over, look up the Bob, Randall and Company live preview show, and give us a subscription, comment, something over there. Let us know that you're paying attention. Say good night, Scott.
Good night, all. Thanks for being here.
Auf
Good night,
Wiedersehen.
Spangle.
Good night, Spangle.
Very good. Remember to join us for our next Tuesday Night Live each week, 7 p.m. Central. Same Claus time, same Claus channel. Count your blessings, not your sorrow. Have a blessed week. And until next time, on behalf of Ron McLamb, Spangle, Jessica, Rex, Melissa, Lynn, Randall, Angela, Scott, and myself, I'm Santa Bob McMaster saying good night. Remember, always let your Claus heart shine bright. Hope to see you right back here next Monday and Tuesday. Never stop learning. Good night, all.